Bass players, oh, this obsession with having to play with the fingers. And on a Clank video, all right, Kristen Cole, he's URM Academy producer, YouTuber, good enough to do a video on Clank bass, which is a niche thing, right? You think people would be happy, but no, because he says you got to play with a pick. And here we go. Look at this comment from Bob Greasy III. Ah, yes, because of course you can't get a good metal bass tone with your fingers if you play like a bitch. You're using absolutely no strength in that snap in those lazy fucking fingers. Maybe you could finally satisfy your girlfriend. Noob. Clank bass. Who's the godfather of Clank? Historically, it goes all the way back to like King Crimson, all sorts of people, right? Verni has a pick the size of a dinner plate. All right, Verni from Overkill. Heard of him? Danny Lilker, pick.
We're just like Kiss, we put out solo albums.
David Ellefson, pick. How about just say thank you for the video, huh? Bass player. God, I tell you what, bass players only know how to technique. That's it. They don't know intonation. They don't know their strings are hitting a pickup. They don't know the frets are buzzing. They have no fucking clue, all right? Bass players. Bass players. There's another one, X-Metal God 13XX. What are these fucking names, dude? You lost me at pick. I'm out. On a video about Clank. You're so programmed to be anti-pick when it comes to bass that you have no idea of what the industry actually wants, all right? In fact, I've done a video on this in the past. We're getting out shot out the gate today, aren't we? Welcome to Circle of Tone. How's it going? Please be a patron, all that stuff. Because I've had nobody signed up recently. But let's get into it, dude. I've done a video on how slapping and busy finger bass, public don't actually like it. All right, even like Red Hot Chili Peppers, when the public do like it, their biggest hits are usually him playing it with the fingers and not slapping and popping the shit out of everything, like Under the Bridge, stuff like that. But I've done a video on it, on how all the hits of the past, like the Beatles, stuff like that, were played with a pick. So let's do a video about bass and pick and show some respect in the comments, bass players. Thank you, Owen. Thank you for showing me some technique of how to get clanky bass today. And I'm going to make a face, all right? I mentioned Verni already, and I was researching recently because I'm going to do a Fat Strings Friday video on on his clank tone. Look at my face. That's the face that I made when I saw this picture. I already knew this when I was buying the amp, but let's have a look at another Clank legend. Let's see what's lurking in the background in their most famous video. I just bought it for $100. This video, I think I'm going to name it How to Get the Clank Bass Sound for $101. What's the one? Well, let me show you. We got a regular pick. We have a metal pick. The difference between just playing with a regular pick and a metal pick, they do chew up strings, but if you want to use it use regular picks for practicing, then when it comes to recording, use the metal pick, and you get more clank. Another technique on how to get the clank tone is David Ellefson does this a lot. He plays closer to the bridge, and that will help everything ring out pretty quickly. Strings, another thing. Don't get flat wound, obviously. You want round wound stainless steel strings. Now, I bought David Ellefson's signature strings. For some reason, a couple of years ago, I'm not sure why, but they were all on sale. I wonder what happened for them to be on sale. People dragging him for, I don't know if you know, but he got caught. he's literally online masturbating. And I don't mean masturbatory playing with a legal age, thank God, lesson girl that he was doing virtual lessons with. Whoops, but what did I say? There are not enough assholes in rock and metal. Dave Mustaine is an asshole. Let's bring some attitude back, because we are drowning in people like the comments, like the bass commenters. We're drowning in people like that, guitar nerds, that actually think that they know, but they don't know. They don't know what clank bass is, but they're going to give you your opinion on it. Fired up today. So another thing that helps clank, and this does not have it, okay, speaking of bridge, the area where the string leaves the bridge, this has roller bridge, and that's not good for clank, even though I can get pretty clanky with it. I'm just talking about the little 5% that when they all add up, like a hard, sharper edge where the strings meet the saddle. So that helps with clank. Another thing that helps clank is this, what is it, the PJ bass hybrid style pickups. I see a lot of them with this style of pickup, and if you're not getting enough clank, just maybe go more towards the bridge pickup. Even though I just went on a rant about how bass players don't know that they have string buzz, that is part of the clank. A lot of especially like Nuclear Assault, you can hear a lot of fret buzz, and that's okay in some instances. Sometimes it's actually it just adds to the chaos. I did a video on Peter Steele. He's not so much clanky because he uses too much distortion, but something about his tone that I wasn't getting, I realized slowly. I thought there was some sort of weird thing going on with his delays, but it's actually a low action. And that was like part of his tone was the strings buzzing, you know? If you're as good as Peter Steele and as imaginative as Peter Steele, I don't mind it that you don't know how to set your bass up, all right? Like Metallica cheated. Like I always call modern metal guitar nerd bot dorks that ruined rock and metal, snapped to a grid with the replacement drum machines and all snapped to a grid and copied and pasted and using the same techniques that Andy Sneap does over and over and over, creating a world of vanilla sausages, all right? Metallica cheated in the past, all right? They used triggers on the Black Album, they sped up tape and stuff like that, okay? If you can create something as good as Master of Puppets and cheat, then please, by all means, cheat. But all you're doing is you're using the cheats of a million other cheats, and all these million cheats are all becoming each other into one vast blob. Even in the underground metal scene, they're all using the heavy metal 2-pedal, you know? So it becomes two-dimensional. So yeah, they are my tips of getting a clank tone for $101. I think bird-brained goddamn bass commenters, I'm out. Even the people that use their fingers, like Frank Bello from Anthrax, all right? Even him, when he needs a certain amount of clank, he uses a pick, you dumbasses. I'm going to feed you knowledge, bird brain, all right? I'm going to feed you worms of clank-based knowledge into your stupid open mouth, and you're going to like it and you're going to thank me, all right? Baby bird. I hope woodpeckers have been ruined forever because I learned that they peck out the brains of baby birds and eat their brains like a little maggot. And you baby birds, you have worms in your brains. So it's going to be a 2-for-1. It's going to be a buffet. The woodpecker is going to eat your brain and he's going to eat the worms. Every 99.9% of YouTubers will tell you, do not read the comments, bro. You know, you don't want to be in there because it'll give you like psychological damage. I bring it. I answer, I read all my comments. Like, what are you afraid of? You afraid of? You know, we're big boys, right? You can take a little criticism. Some of it is warranted, you know? So I'll see you guys in the comments. My comments are 95% awesome with a couple of worm brains in there, you know? But even the worm brains, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, fair enough." You know, if I correct them, You know, so it's happened a few times. Like somebody said recently on my Alice in Chains video that it was actually the Black Album that killed thrash and not Man in the Box by Alice in Chains. And I just say, you know, maybe they don't know that Man in the Box came out months before it went through the stratosphere, months before Metallica actually went in to record the Black Album, which was recorded with a fucking pick. Clank bass, long may it continue. And just how... Also, if you're a guitarist with modern, loud, good quality speakers, you can buy the Peavey amp, which has probably gone up in price because of my video, because I've done videos on Faith No More. There's another one, Faith No More. You see the We Care a Lot. Right? It's famous, right? Their biggest hit, Epic, was played with a pick. You little worm brains. Horses for courses, all right? So Frank Bello is smart enough and experienced enough to know that sometimes you need a pick. Same with Peter Gould from Faith No More. People in the comments, man. How is a tiny section of humanity, the negative commenters, there's such a small amount of the comments, drive so many YouTubers up the wall, but I embrace it. Maybe I should bring out videos once a month of Bird Brains of the Week, because I actually used to question myself. I thought, I can't consider myself a bass player if I can't use my fingers, if I can't slap and stuff like that. And I did learn to slap to do the Faith No More video. I enjoy playing bass and I can play bass, so I am a bass player. So yeah, well, hey all, welcome to Circle of Tone. I think I've done the video backwards. But you might see I look a bit red today. I got sunburned in Minnesota, which is pretty hard because I took my daughter out to some shenanigans. Nice relaxing day. So I got burnt up a little bit because my father was a ginger. He gave me this skin. All right, boys, I'll see you in the comments. Watch out for those bird brains and don't take it serious. If you have a YouTube channel and you're getting negative comments, just embrace them. I've said it before, rock and metal has been nerfed by the guitar nerds, and I welcome some attitude in the comments. You know what I mean? Like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Let's bring attitude back. Let's bring counterculture back, and don't let these bird brains traditionalists put you in a box. All right, chaps. See you in the comments. Circle of Tone.